for the future. For tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. With these thoughts in mind, let us begin a new topic in English language. Students, today we will learn about action words. Recently, I came across a lovely poem which is full of action words. I want you to try to identify these action words from the poem. Write it down on a sheet of paper and then you will get the answers through this video. Listen to the poem carefully.
Here is a poem entitled My Busy Day. I run, I ride, I read, I write. I pick, I pull, I fly a kite. I open, I close, I touch my nose. I carry a sled in case it snows. I give a gift, I tell a tale. I see a sign, I shout for sale. I clean, I wash, I eat so I'll grow. Who makes my food, I want to know. I cut, I draw, my art I show. I sit, I sing, up high, down low. I look, I jump, I find a nest. I trip, I fall, I need a rest. From day to night, I keep on the go. I close my eyes to sleep. Shh, tiptoe. Anonymous.
Action words are also called verbs. Today's topic is verbs and tenses. Students, first and foremost, let me explain to you what are verbs. Listen carefully and learn.
Verbs. Verbs are defined as doing words or action words. It is the action which takes place between the subject and the predicate. They can express physical actions, for example, play, swim, skip, jump, dance, walk, write, etc. They are also called lexical verbs or main verbs. In the sentence, the doctor wrote the prescription. Wrote is the doing word. The doctor is the subject. I would want you to remember the first topic of your syllabus. The sentence. In this topic, we learnt about the subject and the predicate. The doctor here is the subject and wrote the prescription. The prescription is the predicate. Now, when we ask the question, what did the doctor do? We get the answer, he wrote. So, wrote is the doing word and it is the verb. In the second case, Ellison bought a ticket. Ellison is the subject and bought a ticket is the predicate. When we ask the question, what did Ellison do? We get the answer, bought. She bought a ticket. So, bought is the action word here and bought is the verb. Here are some pictures. You can see the lexical verbs swim, run, jump, fly, eat, dance, sing. All these verbs can be seen. They are physical actions which can be seen and observed. Verbs also indicate mental actions. For example, think, consider, guess, etc. In the sentence, she considered the job done. Considered is a mental action and in this case it is the verb. In the sentence, Peter guessed the number right. Guessed is the doing word or the mental action and in this case is the verb. I thought of my sister yesterday. Thought in this sentence is the doing word or the verb. If you see this lovely picture, you can say that I love the sunset in the evening, or I forget my troubles when I'm amidst nature, or I want to play on the sand. I feel free as a bird. The words love, forget, want, feel are all indicating mental actions, and these words are also called verbs. At the beginning of our topic today, I read out a lovely poem and I had asked you to attempt to write the verbs from this poem. Well, here are the answers. Run, ride, read, write, pick, pull, fly, open, close, touch, carry, snooze. These are the verbs in this first part of the poem. Give, tell, see, shout, clean, wash, eat, grow, makes, want are the doing words or the verbs in this second part of the poem. Similarly, cut, draw, show, sit, sing, look, jump, find, trip, fall, need are the verbs in the poem. Students, in this last part of the poem, keep, close and sleep are the verbs. There are about 36 verbs in this poem. If you have managed to identify all these verbs correctly, excellent students, you have done a good job. If you have managed to get around 20 to 25 words right, that's good. If you have got less than 15 words identified, you need to practice. All the best, students. Practice and you will become perfect. So far from what we have done, let us summarize and understand the different types of verbs. We spoke of action words, also called lexical or main verbs. And we said that these verbs can be seen. For example, he writes stories. Writes is the verb. The duck swims in the pond. Swims is the verb. We spoke of stative words which describe a state of being. For example, the sun rises in the east. Rises is a verb. Good. And now I'm going to tell you about linking words or linking verbs, also called helping verbs. These verbs are used in combination with other verbs. For example, I am going to the market. Am and going are the verbs. Am, we get the root of am from the word to be, I am. And going comes from to go. This is the continuous tense of going. What is the continuous tense and what are tenses? We will learn in a few moments. A small but extremely important group of verbs do not express any action at all. These verbs indicate a state of being. For example, verbs to have, to do, to be, etc. Now in a language, we have the first person, the second person and the third person. It can be in the singular as in I, you, he, she, it. Or we can speak of the subject as a plural subject. We, you, they are plural. Now when we conjugate the verb to be in the present tense, as in when we speak of an action which is taking place right now, we will say I am. we will say you are, he, she, it is, we are, you are, or they are. When we speak of an incident which has happened in the past, we will say I was, you were, he, she, it was, we were, you were, and they were. To speak of an action which is going to happen in the future, we use the future tense. And when we conjugate the verb to be, we will say I will be, you will be, he, she, it will be, we will be, you will be, or they will be. In the same way, when we conjugate the verb to have, in the first person I have, in the second person you have, in the third person singular he, she, it has. In plural sense, we will say we have, you have, or they have. When we speak of the past tense, we will say I had, you had, he, she, it had, we had, you had, and they had. When we speak of the future for the same verb to have, we will say I will have, you will have, he, she, it will have, we will have, you will have, and they will have. In the case of the verb to do, we will say I do, you do, he, she, it does, we do, you do, and they do. In the past tense, we will say I did, you did, he, she, it did, we did, you did, and they did. In the future tense, we will say I will do, you will do, he, she, it will do, we will do, you will do, and they will do. In this way, students, we conjugate different verbs in the first person, second person, and the third person, singular and plural. I will give you some exercises for practice. For now, I just want you to remember the conjugation and we will practice it later.
Today, through this video on verbs and tenses, we have learned how to identify the different verbs, which are also called action words, and we have also understood the tenses, the present, the past, and the future tense. In our next video, we will be learning more about the tenses and verbs. Keep watching and keep learning, as success is the sum of small steps taken repeatedly day in and day out. Have a great day ahead. Thank you for watching.